Happy Gemini full moon, beautiful souls. How are you doing? Are you doing well? Welcome back to my channel. I'm your host today, Brooke, and woo, let me just say, this full moon cycle will be one to remember for sure. So let's talk about Gemini. Gemini is the dualistic, mutable sign. It is all about the masculine and the feminine. And with this being a Gemini full moon, you really want to focus on where are you not speaking your truth? Where are you not being curious about life? Where are you possibly holding back as far as something new that you want to learn or explore? Are you having fun with life? Gemini is all about being curious. It's all about learning. It's all about exploring. It's all about trying new things. And so, with this being a full moon, where are you holding back? Where are you not letting your inner child come out to play? You know, it's a great time to, over the next 2 weeks, to really to read, to learn a new hobby, to learn something that you have wanted to explore, where you potentially uh, could gain some knowledge or awareness in an area that could be another revenue of income. So, before we dive into the chart, this is going to be a Mercury ruled moon cycle. So, we're going to have a lot of aspects with Mercury coming up, and we're going to have a lot of squares in Pisces and Sagittarius. So, I want to deliver better news, and I really put off recording this. It's the full moon has already taken place. It took place at 18:13 p.m. Eastern Time Zone, and this Gemini full moon happened at 13 degrees 03 minutes. So I have really just kind of been within, going really deep within my hermit energy and saying, okay, what messages need to be delivered? Because I know over the next 2 weeks, we're going to all go through some shit. Like, we're going to go through it. We're going to feel it. We're going to see it outside of us. We're going to see this on a global scale. So, I put off recording this, put off recording this, put off recording this until I said, okay, now's the time. Whatever is meant to come through will come through because I have no idea what I'm going to say as I'm sitting down to record this. So I'm giving it over to the Most High and just allowing the Most High to work through me, to speak through me, in hopes that I can give you all a little hope, a little encouragement, maybe a new way of thinking of things, maybe a new way of seeing things. Gemini is all about being curious. It's all about learning something new. So I was really setting with that and asking the Most High, my spirit team, my spirit guides, and the divine angels to really just lead me through this process because I want to be the bearer of good news. I want to be the one to give hope. I want to be the one to inspire you all to stay grounded, but also know that things are going to get better once we get through this year. As soon as we get into 2026, we're going to be in a 1 year, okay? We had to go through everything falling, endings, okay? And it's a snake year, so it's all about shedding the old too. And this is going to be the last full moon of the year. So this is going to be a deep one, okay? And with this Mars and Saturn square that we're going to have in just the next few days. Yeah, because we'll have the Sag new moon on the 19th, and we will not have the next full moon until after the first of the year. So this is truly the last full moon of the year. There's going to be a lot of endings that take place. There's going to be a lot of disruption that happens with the squares that we are getting ready to move into. So, real quick, just to share some knowledge about Gemini that I find absolutely fascinating. Those that have dominant Gemini placements, whether it be Sun in Gemini, Mercury in Gemini, Moon in Gemini, Mars in Gemini specifically, they utilize both sides of their brain. And most of the time, they have to learn things twice, okay? Because Gemini is a great multitasker. Gemini is all about being fast and talking and moving and all that, right? And it's an air sign, it's mutable. It's all about being able to adapt and adjust and mutate when new information comes in. But because Gemini is all about being that multitask superstar, they tend to make mistakes often. And 9 times out of 10 is because the other side of the brain needs to be able to process the information for it to be able to stick, which I find truly remarkable. You know, Gemini rules my 12th house. I do not have any planets in Gemini. So to me, it's like truly fascinating that they are really utilizing their left and right hemispheres of their brain. So I wanted to share that with you guys before we dive into the chart. So let's share. All right. So this Gemini full moon is going to be at 1303. The sun is in Sag at 1303. And as you can see, we have a mutable grand cross. So it can almost feel like I have an idea and I want to go and this is what I want to do, but there's still a lot of information coming in. There's still a lot of things that we might need to adjust. We might need to tweak. You want to look in your chart to see where this is actually going to be taking place for you, but also look to see where you have the nodes that are now at 13 degrees. Now, with this grand cross being with the nodes of fate, this is where fated things are going to happen. Fated conversations are going to take place. We're really going to be pushed to truly examine our foundations, examine our beliefs, examine all of the ideas, okay? Because to me, Gemini and Sag is all about learning new things, whether it be in an early childhood education area or even in higher learning. And then we have our beliefs and our day-to-day schedule. So it's all about truly allowing for information to come in and allowing for us to be able to pause, let the information come in. Is this something that brings me pleasure? Is this something that adds value to my everyday life? Does this truly align with my beliefs? Is this truly resonating with my spiritual awareness? And adjusting, okay? Because mutable signs is all about adjusting what's working, what's not working. And with this being a full moon, what is holding you back? What do you need to let go of? What do you need to do more of? What do you need to do less of? Me, it's all about the monkey brain, really being able to quiet the mind, lean more into the body, trust my intuition, listen to my heart, listen to that natural pull of what's pulling me in a certain direction. Because, and I can't even say 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, that's what's leading me in the direction that I'm meant to be going in. Now, this is a fated time. Anytime we have the nodes aspected, fate is at play. Okay? Now, there's going to be a lot of towers over the next 2 weeks. And those of you that have dominant Gemini, or even Pisces at 13 degrees, Virgo at 13 degrees, Gemini at 13 degrees, Sag at 13 degrees, you all are going to be feeling it the most because of this mutable grand cross. Okay? Now, we have Mars at 22 degrees. We're going to have shots fired, literally, okay? Because Mars is just starting at that 22 degrees and is in a trine with Chiron. So there could be a lot of wounds. There could be a lot of words that's fired, literally, okay? Mars at 22 degrees in the Archer. I mean, it's the Centaur, but it's also the Archer. Trining Chiron at 22 degrees, we could see an uptick of attacks, bombs, shootings, injuries to the head. Venus is conjunct Lilith, and Lilith is now at 5 degrees of Sag. And Lilith is at 4 degrees of Sag and is retrograding. And I also want to note that we have Mercury at 22 degrees too, and is working into that trine with Saturn. Now, Mercury is starting to pick up speed, and over the next week, Mercury will come out of shadows. So we'll see Mercury picking right back up during this moon cycle. Now, Jupiter is at 24 degrees and is still in an exact square with Eris. And I don't know if you guys caught the 50 Cent, I said that and it just got really bright, the 50 Cent documentary that was just dropped with Diddy. Like, when I tell you shots are being fired, they're literally being fired. And I'm not meaning literal shots. These are words, specifically with Mercury at that 22 degrees. Now, Jupiter is still in a trine with Saturn. And we do have Juno and Mars still together. Now, they're going to be together for a while. The moon is going to be working into a square with Saturn. And I do feel as the moon starts working into that square with Saturn, we're going to hear more about some of the things that have been hidden. Now, I told you guys with the Saturn retrograde, we're going to see some dark, ugly truths connected to religion. To me, I see Pisces, and I also see Sag deeply connected to religion. So with this square, and because we have this mutable grand cross, I keep wanting to call it cardinal. We're going to hear more about this. We're going to hear more about it, and specifically as Mars starts getting into that square with Saturn too. Now keep in mind, we're going to have Mars square Saturn and then Mars square Neptune. So we got a lot going on. The best way to work with this energy is to quiet the mind, tap into your heart, follow your childlike wonder, Do a lot of healing as far as your inner child healing. This is a great time to focus on this, specifically with Mars trining Chiron. You know, what are some things that you need to let go of connected to your childhood? What are some things or the stories that you keep telling yourself on repeat? Because Gemini is the storyteller, okay? What is the story that you keep telling yourself that may not even be true? What do you need to let go of? Is it a false idea of yourself? Is it an old, outdated belief? What do you need to look at? What do you need to focus on? What do you need to let go of? What's truly holding you back? So the next day that I want to talk about is December 5th. Now on December 5th, we're going to have the moon finishing up its square with Saturn, and then we're going to have the moon working into its square with Neptune. Keep in mind, before the moon square Saturn, it's going to oppose Mars. So on December 5th, we're still going to have Mars at that 22 degree. And you all know about this. And we got Chiron at 22 degrees. Like, there's been a lot of darkness as far as the military industrial complex is being brought to light. Like, there is a lot that's being brought to light, specifically with Pete Hegseth. Possibly committing war crimes. Like, there's going to be a lot that's uncovered. Just remember, the only way through it is to see it, acknowledge it. We're going to practice detachment, okay? We're not going to get our emotions all worked up. One thing about Gemini is it's pretty easy to detach. It takes in information, lets the information be processed. Okay, what can I hold on to? What can I let go of? And then I'm going to move forward. Now, the moon is going to square Saturn at 13:19 p.m. So on December 5th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time Zone, 1:19 p.m., we're going to have the moon square Saturn. And then at 18:19, we're going to have the moon square Neptune. Now we do have Mercury now at 23 degrees. As you can see, Mercury is picking up speed. And Mercury will be out of shadow on the 16th. So just 11 days before Mercury's out of shadow. On December 6th, we're going to have a Mercury trine Jupiter again. Now, keep in mind, we've already gone through this transit 2 times. And this happened on 11/22 and on 10/24/25. And on 11/22, it was released that they were no longer going to be investigating the humanitarian aid. And there was also a big deal that was released. I didn't go back and pull it up, but I do remember that happening. And on 10/24, that's when the U.S. met with China and things started going as far as the deals that they were making. And then the UN urged Izzy to open the border in Rafah. So we could see some more themes coming back together, coming back around. There could be more released as far as what's actually been going on in Gaza, as far as the relief aid, the humanitarian aid, people that are coming in. Now, I did come across a video from some of the flotilla people, and they were saying that they were going to be setting sail again in the future. It's not anytime soon, I don't believe. However, they're going to be taking more aid in. So keep that in mind, because when we start activating these water trines, specifically with Mercury, we're going to have some of the things from the past coming back around, because a lot of this was pre-shadow, a lot of this was Mercury retrograde, and then we've got post-shadow too. So these things are going to be coming back around. Now, the moon will now be in Cancer. Keep in mind, as the moon conjuncts Kronos, Hades, and trines Poseidon, there could be some more things that happen as far as what's going on with Venezuela. There's been a lot of activity there. Now, Mercury's going to trine Jupiter at 8:04 a.m., and this is going to take place at 2408 degrees. And Mars is now officially, because Mars is now at 23 degrees, officially in between that trine between Chiron and Eris. So I do feel as Mars gets a little bit tighter trine with Eris, we will hear more about what's going on with the wounded warrior, aka the military industrial complex. And this could transpire even from now, me making the video, up until December 6th. Now, I do want to note that we have Venus at 7 degrees of Sag. Now, Venus in Sag wants to be playful. She wants to have fun. She wants to explore. She wants to travel. She wants to get out and mingle. So, while we may feel that urge to get out and mingle and have fun and explore, be mindful, because shit can truly hit the fan at any moment. Like, we can have some mass pew pews, we can have a terrorist attack, we can have shit truly break loose. So listen to your intuition. Does it really feel right? Does it feel like it's okay? If there is that pull, that nudge, trying to get you not to go somewhere, listen to it. Now, on December 7th at 11:51 a.m., we're going to have Mercury trine Saturn, and this is going to be at 25 degrees. As you can see here, Mercury is trining Saturn. Now, Lilith has already been in her trine with Neptune and is back in Scorpio. Now, the last time that we had Mercury trine Saturn was on 11/22, and the time before that was 10/25. Now, this is where the vaccine policy update with RFK in regards to the Tylenol and autism come up. Now, the last time that we had this trine, RFK dropped even more information about what was going on with the autism. I want to say that was the day that they updated the FDA's website, saying that they had not ruled out that vaccines in fact do cause autism. So we're now moving into this third trine, and conversation with those two, I do feel we'll hear even more. I mean, I just released something last week stating that they had updated that there had been children lose their lives that had taken the COVID vaccine. So, I mean, this was also when the ceasefire in Gaza took place. We could hear more about that. And the Pentagon rebranded the DoD to the DOW, and there was 1,000, I don't want to say troops, but they were not troops. They were actually National Guard that were deployed to Louisiana. So we could hear more about the Department of War. I'm hoping that this is not the time that they declare war. Now, we're also going to have the moon conjunct Jupiter at 24:02. And Juno is now going to be at 22 degrees. And as you can see, Mars and Juno are starting their separation. The sun's going to be at 15 degrees, and Venus is right behind them. Venus will square the nodes during this lunation cycle. Now, Lilith is exactly opposing Uranus. We could potentially, or you could, if you're in a relationship, there could be sporadic breakups. Like there could be some dark, deep fights. There could be crimes of passion. So listen to your intuition deeply, okay? Because we still have Chiron at 22 degrees. Like Aries rules the head. So there could be a lot of head injuries, you know. The moon is going to ingress into Leo as soon as it finishes up its conversation with Jupiter. Now keep in mind they're still in a trine with Mercury. Their moon's going to trine Saturn right before it ingresses into Leo. Mars is in a trine with Eris now, and it is exact. So this right here to me is like we declare war energy. And you got to think for the United States, this is the first house. It's a Sag rising, you know? So keep that in mind. Now on 12/8 is the day that we're going to have Mars square Saturn. We're going to start feeling this buildup. Mars square Saturn can be instant towers, like wrecks, getting fired. This could be bombs being dropped on a global scale. It can also feel like you're not able to move forward. This is major tower energy, almost like shattered beliefs, okay? Because to me, Sag is more about the religious organizations, and then Pisces is more of like connecting to the heavens. And there is a lot of religious war that's being pushed. And it does feel like everybody's freedom to choose how they connect, whether it be through any of the organized religions, all the way down to spirituality that has been labeled as witchcraft. There could even be towers as far as more arrests with preachers, school leaders. I'm hoping we don't see a school shooting. That could be another thing that is brought up with that. There's definitely going to be karma that's dealt. We could even see something that's brought up with the Vatican. Now, this square is going to take place at 19:15. So this is 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time Zone, and it's going to take place at 25:15. We're going to have the moon trine Venus right before this. So Venus is now at 10 degrees. And as you can see, Mercury's quickly working out of that trine with Saturn and Jupiter. Jupiter is now at 23 degrees in a tighter square with Chiron and Eris. Okay, we still have Chiron at 22 degrees, Juno at 22 degrees. The sun is now at 17 degrees. And Jupiter moved to 23 degrees at 12:43 a.m. So we're going to wake up and we're going to have Jupiter at 23 degrees. We could see a lot of people in power arrested too. And, you know, this could be people in power in your local community. This could be people in the limelight. Like, this square holds the potential for shit getting crazy, because the moon's going to be trining the sun, and then it's going to trine Chiron, and then Mars. It's in Leo. We can have a lot of breaking news this moon cycle as well. Now, on December 9th, we're going to have the moon trine the sun at 17 degrees, and this is going to take place at 4:15 a.m. And then the moon is going to trine Chiron at 22 degrees, and that's going to take place at 12:15 Eastern time zone, and then it's going to trine Juno. Then the moon's going to trine Mars at 19:06 p.m. The sun is going to move to 18 degrees, and it's going to be at 18 degrees starting on December 9th, working into the 10th, okay? All day into the 10th. It's going to change degrees late at night here on the East Coast. So, again, we've got a lot of 22. We've got Lilith at 22 degrees. We got Chiron at 22 degrees. We got the moon at 22 degrees in Leo. I feel like we're going to see a lot of, and the moon's going to square Lilith, trine Juno. So the next 2 weeks, really listen to your intuition when you go out, because emotions are going to be extremely heightened. You know, fire energy wants to fight. It wants to dominate. It wants to take control. So listen to your gut. If something feels off, it's off, okay? Now, on December 10th, we're going to have the moon ingress into Virgo, and the sun's going to be at 18 degrees. Mercury is now going to start working into its opposition with Uranus. Now, the last time we had Mercury oppose Uranus was on 11/19. And the time before that was 10/29. And that was in Sag and Gemini. But the last one we had was at 29 degrees of Scorpio and Taurus. This is going to be at 28 degrees. And this was when the Fed cut the rates. This is when the Tanzanian overthrew their government and war broke out. The trade deal with South Korea. So, again, we could see some similar energies boiling up to the surface. And if I'm not mistaken, on 11/19, there were some people that were arrested as far as leaders of certain governments, and they were charged with crimes against humanity, okay? While it may seem dark, while it may look dark, I want you all to know that we have the Most High with us. The divine army is with us, walking through this with us every step of the way, okay? Now, this is the other chart that I pulled for the 10th. At 7:23 a.m. is when we're going to have Neptune station direct. Thank God, okay? We're only going to have Jupiter and Uranus, as far as planets are concerned, retrograde. Now, we're still going to have some of the asteroids retrograde. However, we've got Venus, we've got Mars, we got Mercury, we got Saturn. Now we're going to have Neptune, Pluto, all direct, okay? So the energy is going to feel better, but we're still going to be having some reviews as far as Uranus and Jupiter is concerned. Now, with this Uranus retrograde, you guys, the Earth has really been responding as I prepared you all. Uranus in Taurus, a lot of earthquakes, a lot of natural disasters, a lot of volcanic activity. Okay. Now we're going to have Mercury oppose, where's Mercury? There it is. We're going to have Mercury oppose Uranus exactly at 2:58 p.m. on December 10th. This is going to be 14:58 p.m. Eastern time zone. Oh, be careful when you travel. Okay. Mercury is going to be almost out of shadow. Like we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more days to go. Okay. Could be a lot of plane crashes. There could be a lot of car wrecks. There could be a lot of things that truly happen. There could be even things that come up as far as natural resources, oil, money, financial crashes, literally. All right. Now, on December 11th, we're going to have Mercury trine Neptune at 29 degrees, and this is going to take place at 5:18 a.m. And then we're going to have the moon conjunct the south node, and once that conjunction takes place, the moon's going to start working into opposing Saturn. So again, keep an eye on your health. Are you really taking care of your body the way you need to? Is your beliefs helping your body or is it hurting your body? With this being a full moon cycle, be sure to listen to what's coming up for you. Now, we're also going to have Venus now squaring the nodes, okay? The moon's going to square Venus, and then it's going to move into the square with the sun. Now, Venus squaring the nodes, there could be, I feel like with this opposition, like from the 10th moving into the 11th, and then we got Venus squaring the nodes, there's going to be a lot of things as far as our natural resources, as far as the earth, as far as money, as far as relationships coming up to be reevaluated. Breakups, faded relationships, okay? What's healthy, what's not healthy? Because Virgo is all about, being of service, but also being the healer. Taking care of your body, nurturing your body, but also taking care of those around you too, being of service. Now, as you can see, Mars is starting to work into that square with Neptune. Mercury's going to ingress into Sag at, it's the same chart, 1740. So this is going to be at 5:40 p.m. on this day. And I will be so grateful and so thankful once we get Mercury out of Sag. Not my favorite transit. Mercury in Sag and Pisces, like I struggle getting my words out. I struggle being able to talk. I struggle finding my channel. I struggle finding my channel the most. On December 12th, the moon's going to trine Uranus. And it's going to oppose Saturn. It's going to oppose Neptune. It's going to trine Uranus. It's going to square Mars. And this square is going to take place early in the morning around 5 a.m., 5:30. And then at 11 a.m., the moon's going to ingress into Libra. So, what do you need to change? What do you need to tweak? What do you need to reevaluate? What do you need to look at? What do you need to let go of? What's holding you back? Is it your routine? Is it the food you eat? Is it your beliefs? Is it your unconscious beliefs? What is it? What needs to be let go of? I started, and I've kind of been playing with it, and I want to share this with you guys. I started a new journey. My Reiki master wrote a book about methylene blue, and of course she has a specific type of methylene blue that she recommends, and so I've started this new journey with this product, and when you get the book and you read the book, you will see that a lot of times if you are stuck in a repeated pattern, if you're stuck in a repeated cycle, and you're really trying to ascend to the next level, it's deeply connected to your mitochondria. And so with this molecule, it deeply dives into repairing that part of your body. And this is also where we have energy that stays trapped in our body, trapped in our cells, trapped in our mitochondria, that keeps us in those loops. So for me, like I have really been playing with it. I was really hesitant, really scared to go down this journey, but I really trust my Reiki master. I trust what she's done. I trust that she knows what she's talking about. So it made the process a little easier. However, um, I haven't been on it for quite a month yet, but we'll be getting to my month about the middle of this moon cycle, getting towards the end of this moon cycle. So I've been on it a couple of weeks, and I hope come the next moon cycle, I will be able to give you all an update on, how it's working for me. But the reason why I'm sharing this is because, with the moon being in Virgo, what if you've done all the work? What if you've released as much as you possibly could and you just need a little extra help to getting your cells, your vibration? Because the way she explains it is just truly perfect. Like a lot of times our body needs to catch up with us spiritually in order to help us overcome the loops, to overcome the lessons, to get to the next level. All right. So think about this. Are you doing everything that you can to support your body spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically? And if you feel like you need a little extra help, reach out to me. I'd love to share the book. I'd love to share her page so you can get a little extra guidance as far as that's concerned, because she truly is a fountain of knowledge. On December 13th, we're going to have Mercury sextile Pluto again. Now keep in mind, we've already been through this this transit twice now, just since the end of October, so December 30th. And this sextile was at 26 degrees of Aquarius. I'm sorry, 1 degree of Aquarius and 1 degree of Sag. It was 126. And that was on 10:30. And then we had it again on 10:17. And this was at 1 degree of Sag and 1 degree of Aquarius. And this is when on 10:30 we had mass casualties in Darfur, Sudan. We also had the trade deal with China. And we had Hurricane Melissa. So there could be even more that's brought up to the surface. There could be a natural disaster. There could be literal war that breaks out. Keep in mind, we still have Chiron at that 22 degrees. This is a full moon cycle. Chiron's at 22 degrees. I have seen so many people over the last 2 to 3 weeks. Like as soon as we went into Scorpio season, there has been so many people crossover. Literally. Like I can't be on Facebook for very long because it's like that's all I was seeing. And it's horrible. It's sad. Like I feel terrible. I hate it. Now, you're going to have the moon square Hades and then square Kronos, and then start working into a square with Jupiter, and there will be a cardinal T square that takes place because the moon's going to be not quite conjunct Zeus, but close to it. But it's going to be really opposing Chiron, squaring Jupiter, opposing Eris, and getting close to Zeus is going to be in there. As you can see, they're within a 3-degree orb here of that square. Venus and the Sun's quickly working into trining Chiron. Now on December 14th, we're going to have the nodes move to 12 degrees of Pisces and Virgo. So, we just have a few months to go and the nodes are going to move into Leo and Aquarius. Now, Venus is going to move to 18 degrees. Mars is going to be in a square with Neptune. This square is going to take place at 6:43 a.m. There could be something that truly transpires on the water on this day with that square. There could be some major headlines as far as the media is concerned, as far as some things that's been going on with the media, global news. Venus is going to move to 18 degrees. The sun's going to be at 22 degrees in a trine with Chiron at 22 degrees. Like December 14th, December 8th are the 2 days that I feel shit can truly hit the fan. And this is also when that opposition with the moon and Chiron is going to be taking place, opposition with moon and Eris, square in Jupiter. Yeah. Mercury is now out of that opposition with Uranus and working out of that sextile with Pluto. The moon's going to ingress into 0 degrees of Scorpio. Things could get really dark on this day. The 8th and the 14th, I truly feel we could see some mass casualties. We could see some shit truly hit the fan. On December 15th, we're going to have Mars ingress into Capricorn. Now, I do feel that we're going to start seeing a lot of our Capricornian structures collapse. We could see a lot happen with the ships on the water. That could actually start with Mars being at that 29-degree point of Sag squaring Neptune, and then instantly as Mars moves into or ingresses into 0 degrees of Capricorn, this is going to take place at 2:34 a.m. Eastern time zone. We're also going to have Venus at 18 degrees. We're going to have the moon in Scorpio. Like, the sun's still going to be in that trine with Chiron, also trining Eris. We can even see, Venus at 18 degrees. The stock market. Juno is going to conjunct the sun. And Juno is in a trine with Eris and also in a trine with Chiron. And we're going to have the moon nope, that'll be tomorrow. December 16th, we're going to have the moon conjunct Lilith. This is dark feminine energy. Like, I'm going to burn your ass to the ground. We're going to have the sun and Juno conjunct at 25 degrees. And they are going to be squaring Saturn. Exactly. So we're first going to have Mars square Saturn. Then we're going to have Mars square Neptune. Then we're going to have Juno and the sun square Saturn. Again, religion, world leaders, organizations, colleges are going to be on blast. Venus is working into a trine with Chiron at 22 degrees. We have the moon and Lilith trining Jupiter, trining Saturn, trining Jupiter, trining Saturn. So the sun's going to square Saturn at 23:33 p.m. So 11:33 p.m. on the 16th. The 17th, I did not pull a chart, but we're going to have the moon conjunct Mercury. So the moon's now going to be in Sag on the 17th. The sun's going to be working out of that square with Saturn. And then on the 18th, we're going to have Venus at 22 degrees in a trine with Chiron. Jupiter is also going to be at 22 degrees in an exact square with Chiron. This is another day. So we got the 8th, we got the 14th, we got the 18th. This is not going to be easy energy. Shots are going to be fired. Venus is working into that square with Saturn. The sun's working into the square with Neptune. Lilith is going to be opposing Uranus. This 22 degrees all over the chart. It could be an extremely painful day. And at 22:59, I'm sorry, that's the degrees. At 6:44 a.m. is when Jupiter is going to move to that 22 degree point. Jupiter is going to be at that 22 degree point for a hot minute. So we're going to have this square here. We could see a lot of shit happen as far as, I mean, this is a fire trine here. And this is a quincunx here. So it's not the best energy. You could use this to truly, shed anything and everything from the past that's holding you back. Like literally shed the shit. Be honest with yourself. Take an honest look with yourself. This is not the type to be fighting, to be aggressive, to be very mindful when you travel. I mean, airplanes. This is going to be a very painful day. I'm afraid. I'm hoping it's not. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's smooth sailing. However, we all know about the 22 and the 18 degrees, and this could be extremely painful. Venus, money, relationships, trining, Chiron, pain, 22 degrees, squaring Jupiter, 22 degrees. Like, whoo, it's going to be intense. Now, I didn't pull the chart, but December 19th is when we're going to be having the Sagittarius New Moon. Now, did I tell you guys that on the 16th is when Mercury comes out of shadow? That is the day that the sun squares Saturn. We're going to have Mercury out of shadow, thank God. So just 2 days before. The only planets that we're going to have at retrograde is going to be Uranus and Jupiter. But on 12/19, we're going to have the Sag New Moon, and that's going to be number 3 at the 28-degree point. And this is going to be a Jupiter rolled new moon, and it's going to be squaring, Jupiter's going to be squaring Chiron. During this new moon at 22 degrees. And the new moon is going to be squaring Neptune. So I do feel that there's going to be a lot of illusions that we're going to have to bust through. Let's see. What messages need to come through for those watching? Truth. What messages need to come through for those watching? I'm hearing slow and steady wins the race. I do feel that there's going to be people coming together. Okay, if towers are happening, or if you're getting fired, if you're going through a breakup, if you're losing friends, all of that is meant to happen. Okay, slow and steady wins the race. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Okay, and it's all part of your spiritual journey. It's all part of you stepping into being the guide, the role model, the leader, being able to shine a light on the darkness. This could be connected to family, lying, stealing, cheating. It could be healing from that, healing money. Could be, people could have stole from you. I've been through all that. The last 5 years, like I've been through it all. Yeah, karma's being cleared, literally. Okay, but it has to, right? It has to clear, and it's going to happen fast. Yay, I got the 3 of Cups celebration. Oh, yay, yay, I like this. Okay, this has to happen. And there could be breakups. There could be, people that you thought were supposed to be in your life forever. And then come to find out they were doing some shady shit behind your back. I had a friend, had is the word, okay? They like to talk about everybody. Like when I say she likes to talk about everybody, she likes to talk about everybody. All right. And she told me everything that other friends were saying about me behind my back. and would smile because she knew she was telling me something that was going to hurt me, but she would smile when she delivered the information. And this is almost what it feels like. It feels like this is happening for your higher good, okay? It might feel like you're losing everything. It might feel like, oh my God, I'm having to start all over. I have nothing. I mean, this is all about keeping everything for yourself, stealing. And with the Ten of Pentacles upside down, you know, the Fool has to travel lightly, doesn't have a whole lot. This is going to happen fast. And this is part of clearing that karma. All right. And what I love is the Three of Cups celebration. This has to be cleared. It's a full moon cycle. If people are leaving and people are showing you their true colors, believe what you see. Get out of your head. People are not going to change. They're always going to show you who they are. Let them fucking go. Let them go. Keep an eye on your emotions. Focus on your inner child healing. Look at this. I got the King and the Queen of Cups. Okay. This is for your greatest good and highest joy. It is for your greatest good and highest joy. This is meant to happen. This is all part of your spiritual evolution. To walk away from these people, literally walk away. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. This is the second. So the Knight of Pentacles, there is no movement. The next movement card is the Knight of Cups. The next one is the Knight of Wands. And then the fastest is going to be the Knight of Swords. It is the fastest moving knight, okay? So slow and steady wins the race. This is going to be cleared quickly. It has to be cleared in order for you to get to the next level. Okay. Give me 3 cards for the future, please. Give me 3 cards. Yeah, it has to be cleared. One more, please. Yeah, beginner's mind. It's all about being excited about new beginnings. It's all about being excited. You asked for this. You planted the seeds for this, okay? This is what you've asked for. This is what you've wished for. It's all about the beginner's mind. Let these sneaky people go. Let the karma be cleared. Trust me when I say what goes around comes around. What goes around comes around. Nobody escapes karma. That friend that I was talking about, she'll get hers. It'll come back around like it always does. People will see her as the gossip she is. Just stay excited about life. We will get through the next 2 weeks. There could potentially be a lot of bombs that go off. I'm just saying. I'm hoping there isn't. I'm hoping people have been telling the truth about, you know, let's bring peace and yada, yada, yada. I pray that's the direction that we go in. I also know that we're up against the military-industrial complex, and they will stop at nothing to be able to make money on their war machine. So, that's all I'm going to say. But anyway, happy Gemini full moon, beautiful souls. And I'm sorry I took so long. Please forgive me. Thank you for being patient with me, for taking so long. I just couldn't get the channel to open. Like, I don't even know what I'm going to say. And I usually always have a really good idea of what I'm going to go over, the direction and the channel is just not opening today. I got to do my egg cleanse for sure. So do your egg cleanse, do your Palo Santos, burn your cloves, all that, right? So you are protected, you're cleared. Go through your house, clean out any clutter. It's the end of the year. It's time to let shit go. Okay, we're wrapping up this 9 cycle. We'll be starting a new cycle very soon. All right. I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye.